It always seems impossible until it's done. Words from Nelson Mandela for your consideration as we journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine. Hi, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining us for another program. Coming up, we showcase more indigenous Jamaican food. Then we take a look at nurturing your child's talent. And later, we show you how you can grow nutritious foods right in your backyard. Stay tuned.
Prevent overfishing, give our marine resources room to replenish, protect valuable marine species from extinction. Fish sanctuaries have been created to do just that. These designated protected areas for fish and other marine life help to breed, grow, and maintain a healthy population. No one is allowed in a fish sanctuary. It is illegal. Offenders will be arrested and their fishing equipment and catch confiscated. Allowing our marine and seafood population to grow means more catch later and food security for all.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 13. A dormant Joint Select Committee of Parliament established in 2014 to review legislation against gender-based violence will be reconvened shortly. Minister of Gender Affairs Olivia Grange informed Parliament yesterday that the committee was expected to begin reviewing the Sexual Offences Act, the Offences Against the Person Act, and the Child Care and Protection Act, among others, in the next quarter of the fiscal year. She was addressing the recent murder of a 3-year-old girl in St. Anne and called for full support of the government's push to legislate harsher penalties for perpetrators of crime and violence against women and children.
This is a united and focused approach. We're strategically looking at areas of law that need to be reformed. We're not afraid to take on the awesome task of effecting change. When you harm the innocent, the weak, and the vulnerable, you must feel the full brunt of the national law enforcement apparatus.
The opposition spokesperson on youth, Lisa Hanna, indicated her support of the call for tougher measures to deal with increasing violence against women and children. A $500 million loan facility is to be provided to small and medium-sized tourism businesses. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett will sign a memorandum of understanding with the Exim Bank within a few days for the provision of the loan facility.
Then we also have the other micro program with Jamaica National, that we have 20 million there, again for you, at interest rates at 5%.
The minister was addressing artisans at Tuesday's Craft Enhancement Project Awards ceremony. He said government was determined to develop the craft sector, adding that plans were well advanced towards implementing the Institute of Craft Development. It should be ready by 2018. Government is actively exploring the use of crumb rubber to make asphalt for repairing the nation's roads. The process involves the mixing of asphalt concrete with the rubber from tires to make rubberized asphalt. According to studies, roads paved with crumb rubber are 50 times stronger and less brittle than conventional asphalt.
We have already received interest from 3 companies, and we intend to look closely at the technology and use it where appropriate.
The state minister, who has responsibility for works, was making his contribution to the sectoral debate recently. Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley is asserting that government continues to push for lower electricity rates. He was speaking on JIS TV's Issues and Answers program last Sunday. While addressing the effect of the recent rate increase granted to the Jamaica Public Service Company, Minister Wheatley said government would continue to promote more efficient use of energy.
In fact, I just had a meeting with the Clinton Foundation, who will be assisting us with some energy efficiency conservation process. In fact, the Office of the Prime Minister, Jamaica House, will be fitted with solar panels very soon, so that the Office of the Prime Minister will come off the grid.
He says Jamaica's dependence on oil should continue to decrease given the number of alternative energy projects set to come on stream this financial year through to 2018. Government aims to have 30% of the generation to the national grid coming from renewable energy sources by the year 2030. And finally, the Seville Great House in St. Anne will be refurbished as part of a broader initiative to recommence the maintenance program for all sites owned or leased by the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, the JNHT. Culture Minister Olivia Grange says repairing the over 300-year-old Great House is part of the overall plan for the redefinition of the facility, which includes a heritage park.
We're also going to resuscitate more than the physical structure. We're going to place the Seville Great House at the center of cultural activities of the parish, at the center of the North Coast, stretching from St. Mary through to St. Anne and onwards to Trelawney.
Minister Grange was addressing the recent media launch of the Seville Emancipation Jubilee 2016. The annual celebration, which commemorates Jamaica's emancipation in 1834, will be held under the theme United and Free, What a Jubilee.
I am advised that the show this year will be of a greater and higher quality than in previous years, as the JNHT seeks to redefine the Emancipation Jubilee product to create its own distinctive flavor of being the only event of its kind.
The Emancipation Jubilee will be held on the lawns of the Seville Great House and Heritage Park in St. Anne on July 31 into Emancipation Day, August 1. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, we run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
The Olympics is just around the corner and our Jamaican athletes are expected to do well. Could our athletic prowess be rooted in our local foods? Perhaps. Take a look at our next feature.
The Jamaicans are running away with the event. Can Trinidad and Tobago take the second spot? Asafa Paul, Jamaica, gold, 37.10, world record!
Born and fed in Jamaica, homegrown athletes sustained by the foods of the soil, enriched to reach international heights of glory.
This is a fabulous moment in Jamaican and Caribbean track and field history.
An agricultural sector steeped in a tradition of excellence, ripe for expanded production, energized to tap into new markets. A nation of champions. Food. For most, that probably means the broad label for just about every edible item we humans consume. Now, Jamaicans fully agree to this, but in the lingua of the island, food is also a specific term for the side dishes that accompany the main course of Jamaican meals. You might also hear them called ground or grung provisions, yam, potato, sweet or Irish, dasheen, cocoa, cassava, and others that are staples of the island's agricultural output. Farmers, supported by government and strong private groups, plant and harvest these crops for the discerning Jamaican consumer and a reliable export market. As the world marvels at the lightning speed of the likes of Usain Bolt and Veronica Campbell-Brown, many have asked, is it in the food? Perhaps the yellow yam?
969.
When we roast the yellow yam, when we roast the yellow yam, and we slice it in a two, and we slice it in a two.
The skin is brown, sometimes black, and some say scaly. Peel away the outer layer and get to the heart of its starchy goodness. There you'll find fulfillment and a taste that is as distinctive as the indescribable talent of our trailblazing athletic stars. More importantly, in the heart of our yams are essential nutrients for healthy living: vitamins C and B6, potassium, manganese, fiber, and iron. These nutrients converge in several varieties of the Jamaican yam, a tuber with off-white, purple, white, yellow, and sometimes red flesh, depending on the variety. For every type of yam, there is a uniquely Jamaican name, like renta, yampi, moonshine, or afu. Whatever the name, they're all edible, just so long as you cook them first. And with thousands of acres of fertile land, yam production is an island-wide vocation in Jamaica. But you might be surprised, or not, to know that the most popular yam-producing parish, Trelawney, is also the home of the world's fastest man.
Corrected to 969, the relax. Usain Bolt, tremendous running by this man.
Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night.
From jerk to curry recipes, Jamaican cooking is all about the spices, sourced right on the island. With the support of the state entity responsible for managing all things agricultural, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Jamaica's spice producers are on the verge of stamping a bolder mark on the competitive international industry, with many programs unfurling to increase the production of traditional spices like ginger, turmeric, nutmeg, and pimento, and non-traditional spices such as hot peppers and onion. And the possibilities are bountiful. Take ginger and turmeric, for example. Both grow with relative ease almost anywhere on the island. In fact, travel to some places in Jamaica and you can find turmeric growing wild, unfettered by any environmental condition that could stunt its growth. Whether for use as a condiment, for its healing properties, or simply for coloring, consumers worldwide can't seem to get enough turmeric. Global trade in turmeric has been trending up, and so have prices. As for Jamaican ginger, it has long been considered among, if not the best in the world. Current global demand for Jamaican ginger is estimated at 21,000 metric tons in its fresh form and 4,200 tons dried, and there's room for growth. So, what's your delight? Whatever it is, Jamaican farmers and end producers are uniquely and creatively positioned to deliver. In this land of wood and water, champions are not just made for the tracks, they're also found in the fields and in the shopping carts of discerning consumers the world over.
Enjoy yourself in your homeland. A little more. I and I roll queen. Go rubber dub it. Wanna I will lick a scene.
Nobody want to plant the corn. Everybody want to read the band. Who you are go blame it on when it's a next man you are deep in pan. Well, you're wrong.
Farmers, let us be serious about predial larceny. It is affecting all of us. If you are aware of incidents of predial larceny, make contact with your local police station or call Crime Stop at 311. Predial larceny is everybody's business.
There's a saying, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. Take a look at our next feature highlighting how you can ensure your child is putting in the work when it comes to their talent.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger.
Talent, that natural aptitude or skill, combined with the right mix of ingredients, can be developed to achieve one's fullest potential and help to positively shape society. And for those reasons and more, it's important for parents to nurture the skill set of children. Youngsters will develop greater confidence, critical thinking, and interpersonal skills, which are all needed for their overall development.
Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance.
Talents differ from person to person. It may be cooking, drawing, writing, playing a musical instrument, singing, or mastering a particular game. Meet Shavel, Nelisha, and Paul, 3 students with outstanding talents, trailblazers in their own right, all because of an effective support system.
think you're okay. He gave this very special talent to me. Well, everyone in my family can sing, but looks like I got everything.
It's no wonder her captivating performances are making the rounds on social media. She has also won her school's talent evolution competition. But none of that would have been possible without the support of her mother and friends.
When I really didn't want to enter the competition, they were like, enter, enter. Can't express my heart's desire. Gratitude for one more day my needs supply.
It's a similar story for Chevelle, a drummer. His mother has been instrumental to his development.
I am always at the rehearsals. I am at all the performances. Some of the time they are going out and no spaces on the bus, but I always find a space to be there. Yes, and always cheering him along. Always.
Chevelle have a love for drumming from he was a baby coming to this institution with his mom. As soon as Chevelle hear the drumming, his mom would actually bring him come to the rehearsal to see what is going on.
That helped Chevelle to receive the Best Drummer in the Under-19 category of the 2016 staging of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission JCDC Festival competition. He has also received numerous gold and silver medals for his drumming in both solo and group performances. But talents are not all musically related.
I'm good at chess and I'm a very competitive person. I'm focused and I'm confident. So if you beat me, I'm going to try to beat you.
He's very competitive, and so chess suits him very well. He wants to win. He wants to do a good job. And he's driven. I mean, anybody who sits before Paul knows they're in for an intense match. Every year he wins awards for chess. It's taught as a subject, so you can't not want to do chess. You have to do chess. I have seen definitely a turnaround in students. They are more disciplined, more focused, more analytical. When you're you can pick anything and discuss with them.
So, if your child is interested in chess,
learn the game so your child can play with you. Create scenarios or take them to events where they can play and practice their craft. If there's someone old in the community who loves the sport, they can play with them. There's no age limit to it. That's the only way that you maintain interest.
The government, through the National Parenting Support Commission, has long been an advocate for good parental support, especially when it comes to nurturing talents in children.
If we can inculcate a culture of patience in children and perseverance, and what we find is that those children, they're able to be more resilient and overcome obstacles.
The one challenge me because I don't have a drum at home, but then I don't make that bother me. I take up the pot and I beat the pot to practice with my talent of singing, playing the bass guitar, and playing the drum, even the trap set, the drum set that is. I intend on doing ethnomusicology, therefore studying different ethnic aspects of music and coming back to these schools. And I can promise you right now that I will be one of those prominent Caribbean artists and composers.
So, what can parents do to better develop the natural skills of their children?
Be a role model for their children. You know, give them the push, give them the encouragement, you know, because sometimes everyone needs a push.
And so when parents foster and inculcate a culture of change in their children to become anything that they want to be, then that contributes to the holistic development of the society as a whole.
You're always down for me, have always been around for me, even when I was bad. You showed me right from my wrong.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe, and it helps their development process.
Want to get into farming but worried about the land space needed? You may already have an available space right in your backyard. Take a look.
This garden is beautiful, right? Well, it took quite some time and a lot of hard work to get it to this stage. Did you get it in someone's backyard? It is. Backyard gardening is one sure way of eating healthy and saving money. Today, both you and I will be learning some important pointers on growing our very own garden. So, come, let's dig some dirt.
With me is Master Gardener Rashida Linton. She'll be telling us what to consider when choosing a location for a garden. Rashida, this looks like a good enough location.
It is. This is quite okay. You need to ensure that your property is located in an area that receives anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. In fact, you need to also ensure that it gets adequate amount of water. It could be either a water tank, a roof gutter, or just a simple tap. You know what? Chris, he's well informed, very experienced. This is his property. He'll be able to tell you anything you want to know. Chris, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Chris. She's interested in farming. Please tell her anything she wants to know. See you guys later.
All right, later. Chris, look like we're going to do some farming. Yeah, all right.
Get geared up. You'll need gloves and rubber boots. First, clear the land of stones, tins, broken glass, or other types of trash and large sticks or plastics that will hinder your plant's growth. Next, use the fork to dig the area and loosen the soil. You may want to make sure that you fork at least 10 to 12 inches or roughly 25 to 35 centimeters so that your plant roots grow easily. This is also the time that you should add whatever animal manure you have to the soil. Also, you may consider adding sand to improve soil structure and drainage. You want a nice crumbly texture. How much manure do you need? Use 1 kilogram or about 2.5 pounds of chicken manure or 4 kilograms or 8 pounds of cow dung or goat manure to 1 square meter or a yard-sized bed. Fork the manure well into the soil and keep forking to mount a raised bed that is at least 3 feet wide or 90 centimeters and 20 to 30 centimeters or 1 to 12 inches high. Keeping the width at 3 feet will make it easier for you to sow, weed, water and reap from the outside in without having to reach too far. To further ensure that your soil is free from pests and diseases, cover the soil with plastic for a few weeks. Cut large garbage bags down to the side seams and lay them on top of the soil to cover. You can use stones around the edges to keep the bags in place. The plastic covering will allow the soil to get heated in the sun, and over time, this will kill most of the insects, pests, and viruses that might be living in the soil. If you are fencing your plot, you should do that now too. Dig holes at least 1 foot or 30 centimeters. These holes should be at least 2 feet away from each corner of your raised bed. This will give you enough room to walk around as well as bend for sowing, weeding, and watering. Next, one by one, set your fence posts in each hole and fill them in. Then, nail chicken wire around your plot, making sure to leave an opening for entrance and exit.
Kerry, this is good, but you know you don't have to go through all this trouble. There is a much simpler way, especially for persons who don't have enough space. It is called containerized gardening. You need to ensure that you have access to a good amount of water along with 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. In fact, Bridget has a containerized garden. Let's go and see her.
All right. Chris, thanks.
Thank you. Bridget, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Bridget.
Hi.
Bridget has a container garden. Kerry is interested in doing containerized gardening. Please give her all the information she needs. Later, guys.
All right,
Later.
then take care.
Later.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
You have actually come good time because I'm just about to transplant some tomatoes.
Okay.
Right. So this is my container.
When you grow in containers, you must have a proper drainage. If you buy clay or plastic flower pots, they will have holes punched in the bottom for this purpose. But if you are making your own, you must make sure you punch holes in the bottoms and sides so that the plants won't get waterlogged and develop root rot. As for getting the right soil mix, making sure you have really good healthy soil is even more important in container gardening than it is in raised bed gardening. That's because the soil in pots is shallower and can dry out more easily. Most container plants do best with a mix of soils. 1 part loamy soil, 1 part sand, and 1 part humus. Because potted soil does not easily retain nutrients, you should add 6 tablespoons of fertilizer to soil. Once you've put the right mix of soil in your pots, allow them to settle for a week or 2 before planting. The next thing to think about is choosing the right crop to grow in your pots. The most ideal plants for container gardening are callaloo, tomato, peppers, lettuce, cabbage, cucumber, legumes, condiments, and herbs.
Thank you so much, Miss Williams, for all your help. Boy, backyard gardening, not easy. But hey, at least now we know about site selection and container gardening. Backyard living, not bad at all.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Are you taking adequate care of yourself? Yes, we know life can get busy, but it is very important that you take some time to take care of you. Here are a few tips. Exercise. Get enough rest. Eat more fruits and vegetables and drink lots of water. Find time to do things you like. Talk with friends and family. A healthy lifestyle will help you to become your best self and a better citizen. Good citizens make a better country. Take care of you and help make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Part of keeping our roads safe is ensuring the vehicles we drive are mechanically safe, meeting all roadworthy requirements. And besides that, we must be good drivers and avoid risk-taking and sensation-seeking behaviors which are prone to causing road crashes.
And that's all we have for you today. What did you think about our program? We value your feedback, so send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or follow us on Twitter @JIS News. Browse our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.